Alright guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's Andy Plays Golf here, but in a kind of sexier voiceover version. Just going to do a wee playthrough of a full 18 hole round of golf that I done at Langlands Golf Club earlier today. So I recorded every shot from the tee to the cup, and it's just a way of documenting where we're at the now. So going forward, videos are going to be in relationship to this, and then we're going to be doing progress videos similar to this, just to see if things have got better. So it wasn't a great round. There was a mixture of bad tee shots, bad iron shots, and putting was actually okay today. It was alright, apart from the kind of 6-foot putts that you're going to see. A couple of them were missed, but that's easy, we can work on that. So I'm going to emphasise the fact that if you are struggling with your game, go and see a pro. Right, 100% go and see a face-to-face pro, because watching YouTube videos and getting tips from YouTube videos isn't always the answer unless you know exactly what your fault is. A pro will tell you what your fault is, and then you can go and do the research and try and figure out what the problem is from that. I know what my faults are based on looking at my videos and based on information I've had from Gary, but I'm hoping you guys in the comments, we can get into a bit of a chat and see if there's any other faults that come up with. But there's a lot to work on anyway, and that's the reason for this video. So I've got in contact with Chris Ryan Golf, and he's a YouTuber, and he does very detailed videos on golf tips. He doesn't just put out a video assuming that we know the basic fundamentals of golf, because sometimes that can be the problem. We can lose sight of even where your pinky goes in the golf grip, you know, something as silly as that. His videos go into a lot of detail about the actual small inputs of golf. So got in contact with him, and he's agreed that I can use some of his videos or snippets of his videos, allowing credit, that I'm going to use to try and improve certain aspects of my golf based on what I think's going wrong. There's a lot in my swing that's historically problematic, but I'm going to try and use as much as I can from his videos to help improve. So I'll put the link to his channel down below, and it's going to be something a wee bit different, where I'm going to use his videos and then try and interpret that into improving. So we'll see how that goes. But today's round is going to be everything. I'm not going to talk through every shot, but I'm going to talk about things in which I've seen, especially in the editing when I'm able to slow down the shots, which I've not done in this video. They're just in real time. But it's just a way to see how my golf swing is currently, and then we can take it forward going through the season. This season for me is all about kind of fixing and repairing a lot of things, and then next season's when I'm going to become a pro, right? So right, okay, right, let's start the video. I'll do my intro, and then we'll get back into this lovely voice. Right, straight away in the first tee, I didn't do any warm-up. My foot slips and I lose the ball. Luckily enough, I found it down the left-hand side. It was right into the sun here, but it didn't go very far. Lucky if it was about 150 yards. I do take a 7-iron here, and I absolutely pure it, and I'm really happy with it. And I think to myself, well, maybe this is okay. I seem to play better when I've not warmed up. Right, I go into the first tee, I've not done any practice swings, and I play better. I don't know what it is. It's strange. Right, my chipping technique, if you saw there, it was quite closed arms. It was like a massive putting stroke. I've gone back to doing that because I seem to be hinging my wrists on my chipping, and when I'm not playing well with my irons, I struggle. Really do struggle. Right, so we got a par on that hole, which I was happy with, and my drive here was absolutely pure down the middle. I've got the wind in my face. You always have the wind in your face in this hole, and it leaves me with, it should be a normal 8 or a 7-iron here, but I take out a 6 just to be sure with the wind, and I just land it at the front of the green. Okay strike, a wee bit thin. That seems to be what I'm getting. I'm getting that I'm coming up through the ball, which I know it's because I'm not turning through my shots. I'm actually, when I looked at my slow-mos of my shots, my body was actually to the right of the target at impact, so I need to get more rotation, and it's causing me to flip the hands and get that really upright swing, which I despise. I hate it. It looks horrible. Took a 5-iron on that par 3. It's about 200, I think, to the front, and I just fell short of it, but I was happy with it. And again, another pitching wedge. So these chips are okay. I'm happy with these chips, and I finish it off with I think that was a 4 I got on that one. The score's not massively important on this. I will put it at the on the screen. I've not got it at the moment, but I will put it in the screen as to what I got. But Yeah, and another kind of fadey drive down the right hand side. Just managed to keep it in the fairway and absolutely stripe an 8 iron here. Was it an 8 or a 9? I think it might have been an 8. Absolutely pure it, and it lands about kind of 6-7 feet for the pin. Really, really happy with it. And I miss the putt, obviously. So yeah, those putts I do need to work on. That's the wee note that I've got down. Have a look at those putts. I seem to perform better with longer putts. See if I've got 30-40 feet of the pin, I'm spot on. I thought that was a bad strike, and it does land in the green. It was a gap wedge I took there, but it does land in the green. But I've look at this. You know, my aim in that's probably better than a 6-foot putt. I put that in. Another wild drive, right? This seems to be one of the problems in changing my grip. When I did change my grip, I either get a hook left or I get a right. I do get some shots down the middle of the fairway, but they're quite rare. This one I just play up to the bunker, so it was like an 8 iron I took on this one. Just to play it up to the bunker and just leave me a nice, I think it was a 52 degree I played into the green. I played it safe and I played it left. Take note of where my iron shots aim compared to where the ball goes. I seem to be aiming away off to the right, but then for some reason my iron shots go to the left. So see what I mean about the putts? That's okay, it's saving my pars, but this was quite a good drive. Do have to admit, it was quite good. Constantly in the hunt for that tee though. Right, so this was a 9 iron I think I took into this green, and I just pulled it to the left slightly, but it did keep just on the fringe, and again another putt which has saved my game. You know, if I didn't get anywhere close to that, I wouldn't have been able to make that. So I'm happy with the long range putts. I seem to be aiming quite well. The belly is out, and that was quite a poor drive. You don't want to be up the right hand side here. But those blue and white stakes are for baby trees, so you do get a free drop out then, but luckily enough I wasn't in them. We absolutely skull a 9 iron there. It goes to the side of the green, but these are the shots I'm not happy with. It was down quite a bit in the rough, but I'm just not getting that dropping down to the ball and hitting the shots out. I seem to be stepping up through it, so it's something to work on. But I do think, as I said, it's to do with that rotation. Okay, so on the 9th hole here, this is a very, very narrow fairway. I don't know if you can see the circle in the 18 Birdies app. The circle's actually bigger than the fairway. It's a very, very narrow fairway, but you do need to meet it. You do need to get it in the fairway. So I tried a wee chip out here. It didn't really go great, but a pure 9 iron here, I'm sure it was. I think this was a 9 iron, and it lands to the back of the green. I don't even know how it came off so hot. I think it was maybe a flyer from the grass. I don't know, but this is the back of the green. Again, another wee chip on, which I'm happy with. The contact of it's okay. The landing point was just a bit wrong, but... And another one of these kind of cut across slicey shots. So it seems to be all hands. I think that's what I'm looking at now. It definitely appears to be all hands. And there's that skull. Really, really annoyed with that. This is a great chip. And I do finally get the wee foot putt. Foot putt. Lovely. Right, par 3 here. This is quite a tricky one because this is one I get comments on about the green not looking in good condition. It just looks very, very mossy, but it's actually a very, very good green to play on. It's quite pure in the way that it rolls, and it's very fast, as you saw there with that putt. If you do get your ball in the green, you need to be very good with your aim. This is quite a tricky green to play on, and you've got a bit of wind coming from left to right on it, so... Right, I absolutely pure this driver. This is probably one of the best drivers I've ever had. I think it goes down about kind of 250, 260 range. It's further than that marker anyway. I'm right next to the stake that you need to aim on, and I leave my face open a wee bit on a 6 iron shot, which is okay. 52 degree, aim it out to the right just to allow the slope, and I don't know where that shot tracer's going, but it was nowhere like that. It trickled down and bounced and bounced. Okay, so another kind of saved hole there. But again, another par 3. This is tricky, and for some reason I always pull it to the left. It always seems to be down that left hand side, and that's where you don't want to be because you're well below the hole. And look at the ground, there's tons of tractor marks. It's really quite dry now. It's no great. And this pin is up on a shelf. I don't know if the video does it justice, but it really is quite high. I think that was a 4 I got in that one. Open club face, took it down to the right. You can see I'm not happy with it at all. And this was a 7 iron. I left the face open. The weight was absolutely perfect, and it's right. That's one of the common things, is leaving that face open. It seems to be that I'm concentrating on getting the shaft lean, and that's allowing me to open the face, and I don't really know how to fix that. I don't know if it's allowing the knuckles to turn in and kind of drag on the ground, if you can imagine that. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. Right, so quite a nice drive up on the left hand side here. The left's better than the right, and I leave myself, I think, a pitching wedge in this, and I close the face right down. You can see the effect on leaving the face open in a previous hole and how it affects your next hole. Trying out one of these obscure camera angles. I actually thought I was going to play it over the camera, which would have been quite cool, but aye, so leaving the face open in a previous hole does have the consequence for me of closing the face in the next hole, and I can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to put it left of the pin, you know, after a right. And this is an R prime example. In the middle of the fairway, get a great opportunity pitching wedge, and I close the face right down, I turn it right over, and it ends up in that left hand bunker, which is at the 114 mark. This is a horrible bunker shot. I skull it, bounces off the lip and kicks out. It's out. It's out. It is indeed. So you can see the head dropping in me. You know, I seem to be getting quite disgruntled. I don't usually get affected by the mental side of golf. It doesn't really bother me. You know, I can go 2-3 rounds in a day and play consistently crap golf, but it's consistent. But my head is dipping here. You know, I'm letting the game get the better of me, and it's a pressure environment when you're filming. You know, I had a bit of running with guys earlier on in the course, which if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that. But I don't usually get put off with people, but I did feel this round was hella rushed. I really did. And as much as I let, I think, 2 or 3 groups through at the early start of the game, it just didn't flow well. It wasn't a great flowing round. The course was busy, and I just felt rushed. Right, so going up the 18, I thought I sent that well off to the right, but it was only about 10 yards off the fairway. I take an 8 iron here, just hoping to lay it up in the fairway because it's horrible ground. And then I'm left with a 56 degree, which is just pure at the back of the green. So it's these kind of under 100 yard shots I really need to work on. And this ends up hitting the camera. I don't even move the camera when I'm putting. That shake again was me just rattling my putter. Right, so a lot to take on. A lot to take on from that. It was a fairly okay round. It was fairly average. I think I played to my 10 or 11 over, which is round about my handicap now. I'll take it. You know, it's not too bad, but there was a lot of missed opportunities. There was some good shots that I had in the fairway. Like, for instance, that 12th hole, the par 5, that I could have got to the green, you know, if I just had a better strike. And that's the problem, is looking at these strikes, and I definitely think this rotation and my follow through coming through is the problem. So yeah, a lot to work on in this. Hopefully you have found this fairly interesting. We'll resume normal golf, you know, coming up this week, but this is just a wee kind of document to say this is what's happening with the game. This is where we're going to work on going forward. So I'm going to make a wee bit of a plan for this kind of scratch to scratch series, and we're going to, as I said, look at Chris Ryan's videos. But I think the plan is first of all going to start at the basics. I'm going to be looking at the grip first of all. That's something you can do without a pro, I would say. And I'm going to be looking at the grip just to make sure that my grip is where it probably should be. And then we'll look at other things like takeaway and backswing and all that. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Give the channel a subscribe if you can. This isn't my usual kind of videos, but give the video a subscribe if you're new to the channel. I don't think YouTube is promoting my videos to anybody. I've noticed a wee problem that my videos aren't getting promoted out to people. I don't know why, but I'll look into it. So if you are new to the channel, please give it a subscribe. It means an awful lot. And give the video a like if you can. Get in the comments below and let me know if there was anything you saw in the video. Let me know if there was any swing problems that you saw that you think I should work on. As I says, I'm seeing it for quite an objective eye here, so let me know, and hopefully we can try and sort something out. So yeah, we'll leave it there, but thanks very much for tuning in, and take care of yourselves. Alright guys, behave.